last edition of Journalist Hangout this week. I'm Benga Oreshegun today on the program. After 6 years of legal battle, court discharges and acquits ex-NBC DG Kawu Modibo. NERC warned against planned electricity tariff hike as it will worsen energy poverty. And later on the show, FCCPC drags multi-choice to court over fresh hike in subscriptions. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade, Otitoju and Kaede Ladende. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. The fox is never meant to guard the henhouse, but where it does, the damage is far worse than any outsider could inflict. A dismissed officer of the Nigerian Immigration Service, once entrusted with securing the nation's borders, has been arrested in Abuja for allegedly selling sophisticated firearms to bandits. The suspect was caught during an intelligence-led operation by the Federal Capital Territory Police Command while attempting to deliver weapons, including a submachine gun, to criminals operating in the Abuja-Kaduna forest. Okay, BK, a good job done by the Nigerian police arresting arms dealers in Abuja. But talk to me, your thoughts on this story.
Yes, I'm impressed. The police receive a lot of stick from Nigerians. The police do not really have a good name amongst our people. But Nigerians must realize that from time to time, these people are capable of heroics, and while we sleep and snore away on our beds, they are guiding our streets, they are guiding our communities, just to ensure that we are safe. We must never take the sacrifices that the police and the armed forces are making lightly.
True.
So, in this case, if he had been able to funnel the weapons that we are talking about here, the police reported recovering 2 Scorpion ZEVO3 advanced and fully automatic firearm with an imbued silencer with 2 rounds of ammunition and 2 pistols with 2 cartridges and 4 AK-47 cartridges from him. He was going to deliver them to the criminals who operate along the Abuja-Kaduna highway. To those who say security has not improved in our country, when was the last time they had that people were kidnapped on
that road?
Abuja? There was a time that we were talking about that road. We were discussing that road almost every day. It was along that road that train passengers were kidnapped. They want us to believe that security has not improved. How do you assess whether security has improved when you sit on your berth in your studio, you don't go anywhere, you are not in position to ascertain whether
it has improved
beyond what you read on social media? So this is a clear case of the police doing its work and reaping the results of hard work. We've always known Tunji Disu to be a very capable officer. He ran the RRS here.
Yeah, and you started
he was
in Lagos.
He was OCSAS in Rivers State.
Yeah.
And then went back there to become CP. Now he's CP in Abuja. Abuja is much safer now than about a year ago, thanks to the efforts of people like Disu and the immediate past CP in that state, the one who was promoted to the rank of AIG. He did a tremendous job.
Okay.
And when you apply yourself fully to your job, you are focused, the result will be obvious to the reasonable people. Let's get that clear.
I like that. I like that caveat.
Yes, so the reason it's not everybody that is reasonable. Whether on TV or on social media, it's not everybody that is reasonable. You do not assess reasonableness by the way people dress. Whether they are in suits or whatever, or they dress wearing an Indian dress, you cannot determine how reasonable they are. You determine how reasonable they are by the empty effusions from their mouths. This is what we see. There's too much pessimism about our country. Yet a lot of these people, even if they have their way, they will not go elsewhere because they know that some of the indulgences that are permitted in our country, they cannot try it elsewhere. They will be heading to jail. And they won't be able to call anybody to say, oh, please come and save me. Those societies don't permit that. People jail their own leaders. You can imagine somebody who was president and then he got jailed in Israel. How many former Nigerian presidents have been jailed? So we have to give police kudos. As much as we condemn them when they diminish themselves by taking bribes here and there on our roads, we cannot tie everybody with the same brush.
Exactly.
There are, just as we have it in journalism, a profession now that has been overtaken by ill-bred people, we have bad eggs as well in the police. It's like that in every profession. We have bad eggs among lawyers, we have bad eggs among journalists, we have bad eggs amongst the police. But we will be slipping into the cesspit of unreasonableness if we now begin to think everybody in the police is useless. This is an example that it's not everybody. They got intel, actionable intel, they took action.
And this is the result.
Undesirable element has been arrested.
Okay. All right, Kaidi, to know that a dismissed immigration officer, you know, one of those behind this, how concerning is this?
Yeah, quite disturbing. I couldn't have captured it better than BKO did. But what I wanted to just point out again is the fact that when we talk about interagency collaboration, now this is a case of, it doesn't matter who is involved in the crime, whether you're a uniformed man, whether you are in another agency, evil is evil. Criminal activity is criminal activities. That's my joy, because some would have said, esprit de corps, whatever name they call it, you know, and kept it and probably sweep it under the carpet. This is a good one, and as much as we should, like you said, we are identifying the criminal, not immigration as a whole. So I do not expect immigration to see it as, oh, police just want to expose our men. So it should be a case of whether it is police officer, whether it is immigration officer, whether it is custom officer, whoever is caught in this kind of, you know, criminal situation. Because I watched Journalist Angle when BKO was talking about those Air Force officers who went to invade the, you know, they should be called out. And we kept on asking that question. They should be dealt with. They should be disciplined. This thing should not be swept under the carpet. So for me, kudos to the leadership of the police command in FCT. But beyond that, we are praying that it shouldn't just be about DSU. We must have a strong institution, strong leadership. There are two. They must work pari passu to say that we have, these things cannot go undealt with.
Okay, rounding up this conversation, do you think we have tough penalties for arms dealers?
Of course. The problem with us has never been the issue of laws. It's about reviewing the laws.
And the penalties really strong enough.
For now, I haven't looked at the books. I've not looked at the books, but I know it's a very serious issue.
Do we have strong penalties for people who are into this kind of illicit trade?
Weapons.
We talk about strong penalties. Maybe a hefty jail term.
Yeah, to serve as a deterrent.
No, that is a fact. No. We need our laws to actually serve as disincentive to all kinds of crimes. But that is not the case. And in no time you see these people, they are back on the streets.
That is the thing.
Even more, there are sometimes governors who go and do prerogative of mercy and let hardened criminals come out of prison. It happened in Kwara. And the guy, the guy who was, no, they murdered him. They murdered him. The people that he had offended, they just, after he was released by the governor, said, okay, they went for him, shot him dead. People will resort to self-help.
Self-help, exactly.
If the law does not deter people from committing offenses, people will resort to self-help.
Exactly. All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. In the